Hi guys, welcome to my video. I'm gonna recap a little bit on vectographic, and yes, I am currently logged into the document folder. So why I'm doing this video is technically. Hi guys, welcome to. Oops. Why I'm doing this video is technically recap and definitely have certain things that kind of downpouring. I won't say downpouring, but I definitely need to recap on certain strategy as well. A little bit of Victographic here is Victographic is not for everybody. It's a 2D animation kind of work going on. If you have like some sort of work that needed Victographic, you'll be you'll be asked for it, like asking to do a Victographic photo, that kind of stuff. Let's get the thing real quick. So this is what Victographic look like. The definition of a Victographic is a computer graphic image made up of point lines and curves that are based upon mathematically application rather than the solid colored square pixel. And vector graphics are defined in terms of point connected by line and curve from polygon and other shapes. So something similar to what we have here. This is vector graphic, but brief history I do have a little bit here. Uh, this is definitely needed to be watched, but I don't have time for it. 1963, Ivan Scatterland pioneered on one of the very first computer program for generating graphic on a screen. He used his software Sketchpad for drawing. Line on screen, this program was portrait of CAD, computer assistant design, software, and vector graphic in general. There's a video link to it, and I definitely don't want to go on YouTube right now, but I will save a link for it later. So video like Victor Graphic connected on a plane. They work like connected the dots drawing. For example, if you know your childhood from the early 2000, there's this sketchbook for draw a crocodile, connected the dots for crocodiles, and then later on there is also cars and everything that similar to those books, and we do have those on the computer program as well, but most of them are paid, so obviously it's gonna be a paid to watch. And compared to raster graphic, vector graphic may be scaled up and down, up or down to any resolution with no aliasing. This is vector, vector versus raster. And vector graphics have various properties: shape, radius, center point, fill, color, line color, and you can see similar to what they have here. Advantage of vector graphic. Something similar to what we have anyway. Vector graphic have infinite resolution. They never lose their quality even if they resize or zoom in. on them identically. So something uh, so you can see a VR, but the R resolution is so pixelated. And vector graphics are scalable, scalable. Object can be viewed in any size without losing quality. Object can be easily scaled down or up. Vector graphic can be exported at any size without compromising quality. And there is an example, but it's no longer loaded. I don't know what happened to it. Want to become a graphic designer without a degree? Yeah, sure. The link is not loading. Nice, very nice. So vector graphic are lightweight. The only content are batch and coordinated instead of more complex information like the thousand or million of pixel or digital photo. So for example, you got 48 megapixel, you got 48 million. So the thing is well known here. A very complex vector graph drawing with many shapes, text, color, and gradient, but still have a very lightweight file. Vector graphic is moved out of imperfection. Vector editing software fix flaw or crooked line caused by understated head. And there is a example what we used to use vector graphic, and those are the days that I use. Vector graphic are easily edited. For example, you can create a line, put archer point at the middle of the line, and move to the point around, create an arch. Colors and gradient also can be easily added. Sure. Vector graphic are easily reusable. While vector graphic, you can easily create an object, duplicate, and exponentially and put them anywhere else on the canvas. So you can eventually copy and paste something like that. Vector graphic are multi-purpose anyway. So here's a few things that you can do on vector graphic program. Vector program, draw shapes, create and manipulate text by changing their shape, scales, tails, etc. Make certain transformation to pixel images such as clipping them into shapes or adding filters to them, such as gradient, pixelation, blur, and wide-ranging lists or filters. Create color gradient and adding them to the drawing. Like I said, a car. And I wasn't joking when they had a car in the slides. So vector graphic can be produced drawing looks very realistic and precise. So you can draw a car, you can add so realistic in the outside, but the inside is definitely not doable. I can tell you on my own experience. I faced multiple problems with vector graphic a while back. Technically a year. Vector graphic can be edited with code. For example, a vector format such as SVG scalable vector graphic is based on XML, which stands for extendable makeup language. Most vector graphic software are allowed to edit vector drawing not only on the canvas but it's on source code as well. And this is example of a code that we use. For example, this. You can find yourself into a strategy pane. So this is one of it. Vector graphic can be animated more easily by moving them, transforming them, changing their color, blending their strokes, and so on. You can find many vector format that allows animation such as SVG, Flash, or throughout the web. And another video.
In this video, we're going to create some vector animation using Adobe Illustrator.
Okay. Effectively, I got 10 minutes video. I'm not so sure whether it's shareable.
And After Effects. Hey, what's going on, internet? This is Josh Noel from Sunduck Film. So we have a really cool tutorial today because this is the type of content that leveled me up as a motion graphic artist, and that is working with Adobe Illustrator, creating vector icons and animating them inside of After Effects. Knowing this process and how to create vector objects is going to really increase your skill set as a motion graphic artist. So this is going to be a very fun tutorial and very easy to follow along with. So you need Adobe Illustrator and After Effects. And before we jump into this tutorial, I want to say thank you to Premium Beat for sponsoring this video. Premium Beat is a royalty-free music provider for your creative video and motion graphic projects. They have an extremely popular library with thousands of songs to choose from, and they have a very easy in-depth search and menu filter system so you can quickly find the best songs for your video. Also, with purchasing a soundtrack for your next project, each song allows you to choose from the full track, loop sets, and even shorter variations of the song to make sure every song fits the duration of your project. So for your next video project, be sure to check out premiumbeat.com. Alright, so here we are in Adobe Illustrator, and we have a variety of vector objects right here, and I'll showcase what a vector object is in a second. Now, I'm not going to show how to create vector icons from scratch because, I really want to get into the animation side of this, but if you want to obtain vector objects like this, you can get them for free. So I use a website called freepik.com, and there are literally thousands of different icons available. So you can do vector icon on the search up, and you can just click on any of these files and you can download them for free. And I will link this specifically in the video. The only downside to this is that these are not really going to be used for commercial work unless you give them credit. So when you have your file downloaded, you need to navigate to that folder, and there will be usually a couple files. Sometimes you'll have an Illustrator file, but most of the time you're going to have an EPS file. And what you're going to need to do is right click it and go to open with, and of course it's a little bit different on Mac, but you need to open it with Adobe Illustrator. And it'll open automatically here in Adobe Illustrator, and now we have all these icons available. Now we could bring this into After Effects, but we need to start separating this and creating some organization. So what we'll do first is we'll grab a couple icons that we want. So I know I want this cloud icon. I can just click it. Sometimes you might have to control click it, but for the most part, this is what you have to do. Select your object, copy it. So you go to Edit, Copy, and then you go to File, New, and you'll want to create like 1920 by 1080. I like creating documents that are the same size of After Effects composition, so 1920 by 1080 works for me. And we'll click Create, and then all you do from here is you go to Edit, Paste. So here's our vector object, and let's showcase what a vector object really is. So if this was pixels, if we scaled it up, it would be completely pixelated. But since this is a vector, there is absolutely no pixelization when you scale it up or downward because it's geometry based. It's not, pixels. So this is the power of vector objects. You can make them as big or as small as you want without losing any fidelity. So this vector object's ready to go. What we do is go to File, and we click on Save, and we need to save this, so we can call this one Vector Cloud, and we click Save, and click OK. And now we can go select some other icons in here as well. So now I'll grab this rocket, we can copy it, and we'll do the same thing, new document, and then we'll paste it in there, and we can scale it up if we want. Beautiful, and save it. So now our design is done in Adobe Illustrator, and now we can bring it over to After Effects to animate. And this is kind of how we're going to have our vector icons laid out, but we'll come over here to a tutorial composition, and the only thing we have in here is our title and a background, which isn't the focus of this video. So you can import your Illustrator vector objects like you would import any other type of media by dragging it into your project window, and it'll automatically be over here on the left side. And all we have to do from here is, like any other piece of media, drag in our vector. We can bring it here at the top. And here is our cloud that we created. And from here, what we can do is we want to make this a little bit bigger. We can hit S on our keyboard for scale, and we can scale this up. So one, we can see that this doesn't scale from the center. So we can grab our pan behind the tool, and we can grab our anchor point right here and try to center this up as best we can. And now it'll scale from that center point like that. Now also take a look here. So this is now pixelated, and we said that this was a vector object, right? So what we want to do to make sure that After Effects knows this is a vector object, there's this little icon right here, which is continuously rasterized. We just want to check that onto our box, and now you can see the difference. Boom, vector object, pixels, vector, pixels. So we want to obviously keep it as a vector object. And then we can scale this into place, and we're not losing any data at all. So from here, it's really more a matter of graphic design skill set more than it is about animation at the moment. But we come here and we can place this right here. Okay, cool. So now we have our clouds here. And let's say we wanted to have separate data for both these clouds. So you can see that these are technically two objects. So what we can do here, we can right click this vector layer, and we can go to create and click on create shapes from vector layer. And it'll automatically turn off our vector layer there, and it'll come here to a shape layer. We can open the shape layer, go in the contents, and we see that we have two groups here. And obviously I can hide one cloud and hide the other one. So now we have this into a shape layer inside of After Effects that we can individually animate. And we come here to transform group 1, and we can see that, oh wow, we can move this separately. That's awesome. So this is how you can have complete control over vector objects. So from here at the top, we come here to fill, and we can change the color to white. So white clouds, boom. Now before we do any animation, I want to bring in some of these other objects and finish out the design before we do that. So we'll come here, bring in, say, our rocket, and instead of converting this to a shape layer, let's just go to Effect, Generate Fill, and sometimes you can get away with this as well. And we can just change the color of this, and we can move this into whatever place we want. We can hit R on our keyboard for rotation, and we can rotate this, scale it down, and obviously we can quickly build out a scene like this. So I went ahead and placed out the rest of our icons, and like I said, it's more about placement from a graphic design perspective at this point before you get into the animation. And one thing I want to show is, let's take a look at the color here. So let's just say we didn't want to use generate fill. Maybe we have specific vector objects that have different colors, and the generate fill effect is just not going to work. What you can do is always go back over to Illustrator. Maybe we just want to change the color of the actual rocket here. We can just do that very easily. Select a color. Perhaps we want this to be like a light blue or something. And all we have to do here is save our icon, and all we have to do is jump back over to After Effects, and it updates automatically. And with a little bit of adjustment, you can quickly change colors of your object very fast. Now let's go ahead and jump into the animation of this so we can start animating these icons. So what we can do here is, say, start with our clouds. We can go back to that shape layer for the outline, and we go right into the contents, and we can animate each group here with a transform group. And maybe we'll add a keyframe for scale. We can move this keyframe forward in time by like a couple seconds or so, maybe by a second, and bring the scale down to 0%. And boom, we get the scale like this. And we'll make the last keyframe an easy ease keyframe by hitting F9 on our keyboard. Then we go to group 2, and we'll do the same thing for the transform group 2 there. Add a keyframe for scale. We'll move it forward in time, and then we'll set the scale down to 0%. Make the last keyframe an easy ease keyframe by hitting F9 on our keyboard. So now you have this individual animation just like that, and that looks cool. And you get really creative with the animation here. So let's take our rocket here, and we can put it underneath our clouds. And right when these animate in, I like this to shoot out from the clouds. So what we do is hit P on keyboard for position. We'll add a keyframe for this. We'll move it forward in time. And we can bring this rocket, say, underneath our cloud there to hide it, and it'll shoot out like that. Perhaps we'll do it on this side. That looks good. Make the last keyframe an easy ease keyframe by hitting F9 on our keyboard. And then all we have to do, go to the first keyframe and bring our endpoint in, so it won't be there. So boom, our rocket just comes out. That looks pretty cool. When doing animation like this, the animation possibilities are pretty much limitless. You can do whatever you want. However, when you have to create a video that's like 3, 4, 5 minutes long, which I've done many times in the past, this stuff will take you days to do because you have to lay it out and then you have to animate it, and animating can take a lot of time. So I actually have this plugin here that I'd like to show you guys. I'll drop a link in the video description. I only suggest this when you're working on projects that are going to take you, a handful of hours or even a couple days to do. This is called Animation Composer, and these are animation presets that I can easily apply to my layers inside of After Effects. So I can come here to our 2D layer transformations, and I can find specific animations that I would like. So perhaps I'd like to go to the rotate and scale transform folder, and I can find an animation I like, and I want to apply this to the cogs. So I can select our cog here, grab our animation, and apply it as in. And now, boom, that gets animated within a second, and I can select my other cog here, bring in another animation preset, and apply as in. And just within a second, I was able to animate those cogs in just very quickly with a drag and drop. I can offset these in time. And then I got another icon here. And let's say I want to do a position animation. I can come in here and I want this to drop in from the top. So I can open up this folder and drop it in as the top, apply it as in, and now boom, download. And that's pretty cool. It allows us to animate these things really quick. And within this pack, there's over 1,000 2D layered animations. So you really have a huge variety of what you can do. And also for titles, there's also a 1,000 title motion presets pack just for titles here. So we have titles over here, and I can animate per characters, lines, and words, and I can find specific things that I liked like before. I can find animations that I liked before, so maybe I like this bounce position, and I'll apply it as in. We're able to put this vector animated scene together in a very clean fashion, and we're able to save a lot of time with Animation Composer as well. So if you're interested in learning more about Animation Composer, go ahead and check our links in the video description. So that wraps up our vector animation tutorial. If you need more help with this topic, go ahead and check our links in the video description. We did a video a couple of months ago on cartoon animation with this.
Just a little something keep in mind. He used Adobe Photoshop. So Adobe is very expensive, to be honest. So I don't wanna waste your time. Adobe is could shoot up to $900 if you're buying the full suit. So I don't think I wanna know how much Adobe is gonna cost. And last time I used like Adobe for video editing. Yeah, it's not worth it. For me, it's still not worth the money. So vector graphic can be made interactive as well. Document Object Model DOM is programming. So there is also quite a few other things here. The vector programming API for HTML, XML documents that allows you to make SVG object interactive on the web can be done. The vector object may be animated or made responsive to user action with object changing their properties with user interaction. And this is some of the format: vector graphic file format, AI, ESP, SVG, PDF. So if you have a PDF file format, it also can be run. The AR file is the most common type of vector image. It's a priority of Adobe Illustrator. Yeah, I won't recommend using any of the Adobe at the moment. So you can read all this. I'm gonna skip all the Adobe ones. An ESP file is a graphic file shape and applicated PostScript ESP file format. You can open ESP file with a variety of drawing and vector graphic editing application in Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. I do remember we use SVG. Scalable vector graphic is an extendable markup language. XML based vector image for two-dimension graphic with support for interactive and animation. SVG image can be created and edited with text editor such as well as drawing software. All major modern web browsing have SVG rendering support. Quite a few of those can be used. I think I don't need to explain PDF. PDF is like whatever we need can be used as phone, and you can like view the document on the go. So essentially it's a portable software file thing object. For example, you're on the go, you got your tablet, you got your phone, you got your smartphone, iPhone, or any of the Android phone, you need a PDF in the go, you can do that. Use of vector graphic, yeah, this is definitely gonna be something else. Digital illustration from simple to very complex and realistic. uh, this is simple and this is realistic. Icon for apps or web application. I do have the 3D Hive, but I won't be able to get it running. Mockup for apps or website can be done. Logo and logo type. You can make logos as well. Printable such as flyers or poster. Yeah, a lot of people is gonna use this. 3D looking object or rendering. For example, a big fat mango become a sliced mango with cup of cubes and slice of mangoes. To create modern, clean, and minimalistic style images. Yeah, this is definitely book cover. Obvious enough. The Wizard of Oz, the Karate Kid. Oh yeah, sure. Website access such as button banners, flag, and call to action. A lot of these can be done, and I have used quite a few. Great base technical drawing. Okay, this one, the blue one over here, this is like a floor plan image. From living room to studio and any of the house apartment, they use this kind of thing to show you what you can exactly expect from the design, and they can mock up something similar to what you have into the computer. So if you need it on the go, you can do it. Descriptive data graphic, you can see from option all the way. And this is a video game now. Video game characters, imaginary and access. You can find pirates, you can find pirate ship, parrot, cannon bomb, cannon with the bomb, whatsoever. I don't even know why they have this. And they have pencil 2D art. You can actually download this. I don't have time for it, but maybe in the future, yeah, sure. So gaming can be as fun as like a lot of things in a day, and we all game. As a game dev, we always like find creative ways to make the interaction for the game. We talk to computer graphic, pixelated one. And you can spend overnight to like, okay, I won't appealing to any of the game studio, but I do know Ubisoft have this function. Uh, so Ubisoft won't be using 2D animation, but they use 3D advanced animation. Those that can spend priority of months to create. And honestly, as a game dev, you can spend overnight and you can imagine on your mind, oh shit, the character is talking to you. Like, you will lose your mind as a game developer. I honestly can tell you this, and the I won't upset people saying that the thing sucks or whatever, but in reality, video game is more of a RPG, having fun, shooting games, sword fight, anything that can become a World War II plane as well. So, yeah, there is 2D games on Steam as well. I won't I won't pay for any of those, but we'll see. I mean, quite a few. Similar to what I use. Since we can watch video, why not? This video is no longer available because the YouTube account associated with this has been terminated. Uh-oh, somebody must have misbehaved until YouTube demonetized it or been removed, completely suspended. But Sketchpad is easily what you can do in this kind of situation. You can buy the hardware, and if you're really into drawing, designing, you can use the usage of it. But let's pull up something that caught my eye interesting. Go back to YouTube real quick. You will have to watch quite a few of these. Give me a moment, I gotta go and find it. BRB. I can't find the video, and I try to get into the IMBU strategy, like going through the profile. Apparently, IMBU has been restructured, so I won't be able to get the video where they have the creator, where how they create the models and everything. So IMView is similar to vector graphic, but vector graphic is more to image JPEG all this. And then as you can see SVGs a format, but if you're looking into like very in depth, a lot of the time there is jobs for vector graphic use, but I won't be able to give information because other countries have different priority, and vector graphic has been a fair point of view. I'll be honest here. Even if I go to IMView creator site, they don't have it, but you can see from quite a few. Join the IMView creator program. There's certain things that you can use, like graphically designing and ecosystem built for creators, and they also have a video. uh, there is quite a few. Oops, that will link to my file. But they do have a career opportunity as well. Become part of the team of IBU. You can see a few thousand faces here. And this is quite a few, like engineer manager joined 2016. So this is the one that I'm looking for. I had. Can this be paused? No, I can feel underappreciated. The company truly cares. Blah blah blah. The executive team understand the employee humans. Her job scope is office administrator, and there is also senior director of product, director of growth, senior system engineer for MBU, and if you're very truly interested, you can see the opportunity, and they do have remote assistant career type as well. And they have the best place to work 2022 San Francisco business time. Okay, I'm not so sure what they even use. Together Lab recognized is one of the Bay Area based best place to work. So, although Together Labs formerly IMBU INC has been honored with the award 7 times. Yeah, sure. Mhm. So, what to expect if you join IMBU? You can see quite a perks here, what they used to be a career for. and they have quite a few view current opening. Senior front end software engineer, and most of the work you can use it as a what you call it. You can pretty much get what you needed. I won't be 100% to be honest, but Together Labs was redefined social networking, and by pairing blockchain innovation with technology empowered users across the globe to connect, create, and earn. So they have lab portfolio included IMBU, the world's largest friendship discovery and social multiverse platform. And they also have With Me, a mobile multiverse platform, and they have Meta Juice. Meta Juice, a mobile multiverse platform now in open beta build on insight from the science and friendship most recently. So the uh, formally means they no longer have that company. IMView Inc. is based in Silicon Valley and was founded in Palo Alto, California, 2004. So if we look into IMView Inc., they do have quite a few jobs, but be very if you're interested in joining IMView as a game dev, you can join, but please indicate that you are doing a remote assistant, because I don't think they have anything to give us at the point. So I think that's about it. If I'm not wrong, IMView have their own Scambature Hunt, have their own account as well. Which no longer found. I mean, the creator might have deleted it. Oh well, too bad. But there's definitely definition on IMView. All this doesn't include IMView official. But if I can go back and find it, I will immediately upload it so you can have an idea what IMView INC look like. They have their own ouch. So you can see quite a few of the videos they have posted, and if we go all the way down, they have quite a million postage of video. back all the way to 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Quite interesting how they formally design. So this is something similar to vector graphic. As you can see the Google SketchUp. So how we do the furniture and everything, keep in mind a lot of these are how you can create furnitures and how you can define the solution in getting into so-called SketchUp, graphic designer, vector graphic as well. And you can see the pen here, they drawing all this is to demo, but they do have demo as well. And there are quite a few fairy tales subject. Playlists, community, channels, about. They put it here based in Silicon Valley, I view. So this is a place where they located. And Silicon Valley have two major platform creator like Microsoft. They have in Silicon Valley the head office in Microsoft. They have Silicon Valley for Apple. For those Mac users, if you're planning to work in Apple, Silicon Valley is where you might want to move to. And if you're looking for jobs, there is quite a few in Ubisoft. But I won't go that in depth because I don't want to teach people how to get a job faster. So you can always look up like what you need to know. And I don't think I gotta go through all this. But I do want to point out something fast and make it easy. You can go all the way down and you can find quite a few creators. They even make a short video. That's nice. Uh-huh. Creator. Jesus. I don't even want to know how they even build, power up a lot of video. You can see quite a few images as well. But that's how you can indicate what is IMView now, formerly known for IMView INC. Now you can forget about IMView INC. They don't have that company no more. To be honest, a lot of the COVID restriction, the company nowadays work from home. So there is a lot of opportunity outside. But if you're looking for something that localized one for gaming studio, there's quite a few. But do keep in mind, they have a lot of high-end application and free-level jobs also have. But you definitely need to go and study for it. So good luck for your job hunting, and if you're looking for demonstration, sure, you can do a 2D drawing on your own. I'm gonna give a tryout on the 2D drawing